attended, as I told you all, 4 business previews, 4 bombs. I found it incredible that any individual without knowledge or not knowledge, without experience, can have an opportunity to make 12,000 US a week. To me, it was based on my 16 years as a management consultant and corporate trainer, using a lot of logic and analytical skills. This doesn't make sense, you know. But here I was sitting in front of someone who was looking at, receiving, and enjoying 12,000 US a week. Week in, week out, week in, week out. I wanted really, very much to be like him. Okay. And I came quite close, I suppose. Okay. But then again, no two persons are alike. You know, his sense of balance, his sense of focus, his sense of doing things is so different from any other person that I've met. Without further ado, I would like all of us to stand up, give a very warm welcome, yeah, to Mr. Ronnie Wong.
Today is a very special day. For the Chinese, today is the 15th day of the Chinese New Year. May I take this opportunity to greet you, Gong Xi Fa Cai. But every day is a special day. To me, every day is a special day. Every day is a holiday. I retired at the age of 40. I'm just 43. This is an extraordinary business. It invites good comment as well as negative comments. But from my experience, you know, when something is too good to be true, people can't accept it easily. And I trust that you also receive it here in Singapore, where, you know, when you start to talk about successes in this business, when you talk about someone else's successes in this business, and someone else actually enjoying such kind of income, you know, they will not take your word for it. They will not believe. More often than not, we receive a lot of negative comments. Now the question is, how do you react? What do you do when people pass comments like that? Now deep in your heart, deep in my heart, we know this is an extraordinary business. So I just want to make a point that, you know, this business has worked for me. It's been a good 4 years. I have to be also very frank with you. I actually took a long break from this business, about 1 year or even more, I can't remember. But I want to tell you this, that Gold Quest has not failed to send my weekly check week after week, week after week, week after week. Now what does it tell you? What does it tell me? This is a serious business. The company support is there. The company has not failed in its obligation toward this customer. The director of this company has committed themselves to us. The whole office machinery is committed to us. Now, really, it depends on us today. Let's start anew. You know, let's start anew. As I said, this is an extraordinary business. Simple, yet terribly effective. You know, you won't believe, you know, if I were to quote you, probably there are more than 10 millionaires already in this business? Probably more. Rico, I'm not sure, you know. But we are talking about USD millionaire. But are we just talking about dollars and cents? Let's not talk about just dollar and cent, you know. You see, when we are doing something, we just don't do for tomorrow. If we want to do something, we're going to do for our generation, our future generation to come. Is that correct? You know? So what I'm saying is, if you want to do something, we want to build something powerful. We want to build something strong that can last, that can weather all kind of stuff. You agree with me? Now, if we want just the dollars and cents, you know, I can tell you that anybody can actually do this business. Why? Because the system is so simple that, you know, you only need to put numbers on your left counter and on your right counter. Because the computer doesn't know whether you are a leadership builder or you're a business builder. No, it doesn't recognize. As long as they see numbers on the left counter and numbers on the right counter, what it does, it just generates the money for you and give you all the money. Now, frankly speaking, you know, you get the money, yes, but would it sustain? Yes and no. Yes, if you have people below you started building teams. No, if nobody builds teams. Is that right? Now, I just want to say this, that we don't want to be just doers of the business. We don't just want to go out there and get the people in, get the people in, get the people in, and that's it, stop. We are in a business of duplication. We must move beyond being a doer of this business. We have to be a teacher. We have to teach the business. So, in summary, what I like to say again is this. Please don't be happy or satisfied as just becoming a doer of the business. If you want to reach critical mass, you want to retire and do nothing, then you cannot do this business all by yourself. You have to teach and train people to do what you do. Right? So, be a teacher. Teach the business. Be a coach. And last of all, be a leader. This business has worked well for many people. And different leader has introduced different system, and it all worked well. Please choose a system that works best for you. Thank you very much.
Let's hear one more for Ronnie. Ronnie Wong. Enough or more? I'm glad you said that, because this next person I'm going to call on stage is someone that has so much to give that I fear one day is not enough. Okay, not long ago, he helped us put together a regional conference here in Sentosa, together with his co-host and co-speaker, who is celebrating Cap Gome now, Paman, Senator Raja. Both of them truly carried the plane, truly, help those that attended Sentosa, help them to reach, set, and achieve much higher goals than they ever realized. I met him I would say 2.5 years ago. Then I would say the young man. Why can I call him young? Of course, he's younger than me. That young man today is no longer that young. He is a lot older, definitely a lot wiser, and full of inspiring thoughts to the extent of wisdom. Without further ado, the director of B Team, Mr. Rico Uri. Come on, guys, stand up. Give me a rolling section.
Good afternoon, Singapore. Okay, so we want things very, very simple. The more simple it is, the easier it is to teach. Like Ronnie was saying, he was talking about teaching. Okay, don't just be a doer of Goldcrest, you have to teach Goldcrest. That's very, very interesting because when you teach, okay, when you teach, you actually learn. Okay, now, in Goldcrest, there is what we call the power of one. Okay, and I have written this countless times in Singapore. I want to write it again for the benefit of the people who are here for the first time. Your foundation is basically yourself. The business of Goldquest begins with you. Okay, now in Goldquest, many of us always regard ourselves, always refer to ourselves as the downline of someone. Correct? Who's your upline? Excuse me, who's your upline? I am the downline of this leader. I am the downline of that. And we always look at ourselves as a downline. Okay, so what I'm trying to encourage all of you right now is to start thinking like an upline. Okay, you have to think like an upline. You are the foundation of your business. As a foundation, if you disappear, everyone will disappear. Most of the time. You know, okay. I have not seen a successful person in Goldquest, okay, who did not take ownership of his business. I haven't seen a successful person in Goldquest who doesn't know how to present, who doesn't know how to handle objections, who doesn't have deep conviction, who did not have a craving for knowledge, who is not experienced, who does not teach. Okay, so it really begins with you. You have to take ownership. You have to start now. Okay, I am now resolved, okay, in myself that I'm going to turn this into a massive vision-oriented organization. Okay, everything begins with me. So if everything begins with you, my friends, okay, you have to take steps to gain your knowledge. Okay, you have to gain the experience. How? You teach. Okay, even though you teach the wrong thing, sometimes you learn. Okay, just teach. And sometimes you even see your mistakes when you teach. You know, when you're alone and did I teach it the right way? Okay, then you start to learn. Oh, I should have done this better. Even in the teaching, you learn a lot. Naturally. Then it just comes out. But it doesn't happen overnight. It cannot happen overnight. It will happen over years. But it's a constant craving for the knowledge. Okay, so you have to be patient also. Okay, sometimes even I am impatient. And I hear many people say to many of the successful people, he's lucky, she's lucky. You know how many times did you hear, she's lucky because she's... It is never lucky. It was hard work. It was a lot of patience. It was a lot of rejection, I'm telling you now. If you count the number of rejections each one of the persons in this room had, okay, I'm telling you, it's even less than Gunari's. That's how much he got rejected. But that's how much he's successful. You know? Like what Ronnie was saying, when you're so excited and you explain to your brother, your sister, your family, that's what happened to me. So he's right. Every time you fail, you are one step closer to making this happen. I'm telling you now, you're one step closer to making this a success. You're better off than the new customer. who will experience all the failures, the pitfalls, and all. You have not failed. Okay, it's a perspective. You have succeeded in finding ways of how this business of Gold Quest does not work. But you have succeeded. Is that right? You have succeeded. In fact, every time you fail, you are one step closer to making this happen. I'm telling you now, you're one step closer to making this a success. You're better off than the new customer who will experience all the failures, the pitfalls, and all. You're better than them. Okay, VJ always tells me, if you have 100 rejections in Gold Quest, 100, you become an amateur. After 100 rejections. Okay, only after 1,000 rejections can you become a professional. Okay. So how many rejections have you had? Sometimes you get so much rejection, I just laugh at it. Yeah. But all of these things happening to every one of you is all part of the learning. It's all part of the growth. You see how a butterfly or a caterpillar turns into a butterfly? It's not easy. It's a painful process. It has to force itself out of the cocoon to push fluids into the wings. It's a painful process. But through the pain, it becomes a beautiful butterfly. So how much pain have you experienced? How much rejection have you experienced? Begins with you. You have to have your team. The last time I was here, I said that 100 times. Okay, you have to have your team. Where is your team? You have to have a name for your team. You know? So there's identity. I'm proud to belong to this team. You know? And there are teams already in Singapore. And that's good. But there's no one stopping any one of you, okay, to create a team that is far more superior than any team in Gold Quest, including the B team. Can you imagine if you create your team and you work so hard in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, right? You have 1 million on the left and 1 million on the right. So it doesn't matter who's there up. It doesn't matter who came in Gold Quest first. What matters is the amount of hard work you put in. You see what I'm saying? You cannot do it alone. It's impossible to do it alone. I wish we could. But there's no escape. Okay, you have to start building your teams. How to build? It's a long process. But once you build, it feels good. Financially, emotionally, all aspects of your life. Okay, a good friend of mine told me once that Gold Quest is the most comprehensive personality development program you will ever find in your life. Okay, why? Because you deal with all sorts of people. You start to respect other cultures. You understand traditions. You know. You see the minds of the different peoples around the world. You deal with the Muslims. You deal with the Catholics. You deal with the Buddhists and all other religions. Okay. You deal with different traditions. You deal with Singaporeans. You deal with Indonesians, Thai people, Malaysians, Filipinos. You deal with everyone. And it opens your mind. And in the process, you become a better person. It's amazing. And I read in one book by Robert Kiyosaki in praise of network marketing that the biggest gift, the greatest gift of network marketing is not just the money, it's the education that you get from it. To live it out is the ultimate challenge. Okay, that's where the difficulty, that's where the challenges are. In living this mindset out. Okay, so the earlier you do it, okay, the sooner it is you'll be able to build a massive organization and have consistent income streams that will last your lifetime. Okay, so having said that, I want to wish Singapore good luck, all the best to your Gold Quest business, and see you at the
to share with you what numismatic jewelry fine art pieces is all about. It's a fine person indeed. And when I first met with her, she was just a very simple person. She has been raised. And you know what is her passion? You know what is her mission now? It's to help. And why is she doing this? Why is she doing this? To make another dollar. She has made more than enough. But she wants to bring this quest, this mission of rhythm to as many people as possible. I give you people.
I tell from my first why I like today, because the first I must change my life. Why? When I read in my slide like this, I just a customer. I'm proud about the just customer. My name Gunardi Gunawan, and then I have experience in university, and then I have a commitment. When after pass in university, I must work. When I not work, it's no good. As worker in my and ceramic factory, 19.5 years. True? In Gold Quest how long? Not yet 3 years. It's different? Okay. But when you not follow the instruction, you must failure. You cannot success because you talk but you not yet learn. Yeah. First, you learn. When you learn, even you go to China, you learn. True or not?
Yes.
Everywhere, anywhere, you must learn. Until now, when Gold Quest doing training, I never not coming, but I always coming. Success. True or not?
Yes.
Get all information about Gold Quest to your network. There can receive the money directly coming from Gold Quest when you give all the people the correct way, the correct information about Gold Quest. True or not?
Yes.
Thank you. And then you can talk. When you never trust, how can you talk? True or not?
Yes.
Why you not trust? You buy in Gold Quest, you buy the product, you receive the product. Okay? Like maybe you buy Rolex, yeah? Watch. You never ask, where is the office? Who is the owner? Where is the address? What number the fax, the phone, the everything. You can't like this? No. True? But you buy. But Rolex is very expensive. Same. When I just buy in Gold Quest, I'm not like this. I just trust the system can change my life. Talk to just one. How become 1,000? True or not?
Yes.
When you never talk with 1,000, how can become to 10,000? And again, when I show like this, as the mean, success is journey. You cannot make success like this, cannot. But you always to learn. You always come to training. You always invite your family to coming in the training and to learn together with your family, become you successfully. Again, Gold Quest never stop, even single week, not coming my check, but always coming. See, like this. You not talk, you must eat, okay? It's a good silence when you talk to helping to the other. Every time, every day, you just talk minimum, like I do, 2 people a day. And then from 12 people under me, just only I want to talk to the other 12 people. Now I have network 70,000. What do you think? Like my Jack. Do you want to come to Kinabalu? Yes. Sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. You must coming and you make decision married by Gold Quest. What you are doing, but the commitment to change your life together with your team, the same vision, you can do it. Thank you.
Business is full of competition. And it's not just the other companies that are being built every day. There would be competition from somebody, or this guy got my prospect, or there would always be competition. But see, for you to be ahead in business, or to be ahead in whatever activity, venture you're going to get into, you should always break the rule. There's basically 2 people in the planet, especially in the field of business, right? One is the beginners, right? And you have the experts. Where do you want to be? We all want to, who's saying beginner? Who's lying here? Most of us, isn't it? Most of us, we would want to be experts. Why? Because experts are the people who become successful. Nobody wants to be a beginner. Is this true? Yes. Nobody wants to be a beginner because we all want to be experts. But see, what we have to understand, that for us to be successful, truly successful, we cannot think like an expert. We should always think like a beginner. Because experts, they pay a price. They pay a bigger price. Let me give you an example. There was one professor from Yale University, okay? It was during, I think, a final exam. He had everybody propose, businesses proposal, and he would be grading business proposal. So one guy gave up a proposal on business to do overnight delivery. The name of this guy is Fred Smith. His expert professor gave him a C. He actually failed. His expert professor gave him a C, and he comments that in business, it should be feasible, it should not be impossible. Because he was proposing, right, overnight delivery, which was something impossible in the past. Fred Smith did not listen to his expert professor, and he founded what we know right now as FedEx. So experts make mistakes. They do make a lot of mistakes. Another situation was with a very big tire company. Tire companies before, they used to wrap them with a sort of white plastics, right? For some reason. So there was this young boy who just started first day in his job carrying tires. He asked his boss, who was an expert, he said, "Sir, why do we wrap our tires?" So the expert boss said, "Hey, you don't know? So that the white walls would not get dirty." Then the boss looked around, and the new guy looked around and said, "But sir, we don't have white walls." They used to do that a long time ago with some barns that they had white walls.
And this kid saved that company $22 million a year on the use of that white plastics. So basically experts, they sort of like, when experts do fail to see a lot of things. Why? Because they're experts already. There's nothing to learn. But see, if we want to be successful in business, especially in GoQuest, you gotta think like a beginner. You want to be an expert, but you should not be the judge of that. Let somebody else judge you as being an expert. But as far as I'm concerned, let me always be a beginner. Because beginner, it's less stressful. Experts, they get all, they're the guys putting up proposals, thinking. They're so stressed out because everybody in the company runs to them for opinion. Right? So they're the one having heart attacks. They're the one having, cold shoulders. They're so stressed out. So I said to myself when we started GoQuest, hey, I don't want to be an expert. Let me always be a beginner. Let me hire the experts to get the heart attacks and all of this. And let me be very so cool and less stressful. What is this? The what? See, Singaporeans are experts. They exactly know what this is. This is what? It's you don't know anymore. You're confused or what? Do you know what this is? Huh? It's a plate. See, that's it. It's the end of it. You know what this is. You know what this is. Subject, close. You're an expert. You know what this is. But see, if you think like a beginner, it would not end there. We'll be able to think of a lot of things what we could do with this. What is this again?
Flying saucer.
Can I help you out? If I was to think like a beginner, when I see this, I would go, I don't know what that is. Can we try again?
Yes.
What is this? Thank you very much. You don't know what this is, right? I thought you were beginners. I was asking you a while ago, how many beginners here? Everybody's raising their hands. So are you beginners or experts? Yes. Okay, can we be a beginner now? Can we think like a beginner? Yes. Okay, what is this again? Okay, I still have one person who's thinking like an expert. What is this again? I don't know. Okay, now, you don't know what this is. I'm going to start asking you what possible things we can do this with, or we could use this for. Anyone? No. I'm not asking you to be a moron. I'm just saying, think like a beginner. I'm not saying you should be a moron, okay? Okay, sir. Can we try here? What can we, ma'am, what could you possibly do with this? What? Put food in it. So she just invented a plate. Isn't that one of the big industry business today? Everybody's eating on it instead of cutting leaves or trees and stuff that we used to do before. Plate was just invented today. Why? Because somebody thought like a beginner. And she just invented the plate. What else can you do with this? Huh? Come on guys, be creative. Design. So this could be sort of like you could paint on it, put it on a wall as an art piece, right? If it's an artist. What else can you do with it? Straight. Huh?
Straight.
Weapon? Ah, yes. Of course, then probably the darts, the ninja darts was invented. Right? Ninja dart was invented. What else can you do with this? It could be, what do you call that? For shaping, to make a perfect circle. Right hand plate. You could turn this into a what? Frisbee. But of course, you're not going to use this. You're going to start improvising by throwing one, it breaks. You're going to start thinking, hey, let me use a material that would not break. And Frisbee is born. It's a very big business that hit, the sporting industry, right? I could use this for paperweight. I could use this for a door stopper. A friend of mine would buy broken saucers and she would use it for decorating a house for mosaic. Insights of things that you could possibly do with what you have. But see, most of us, we come to something and we say, oh, Go Quest? Ah, yeah, binary lang. I know what this is. It's binary, but they buy 7 headers. How could that be a binary? You're buying 7 headers. How many legs do you have to build with 7 headers? So is that still a binary? So they're experts again. But see, for you to be ahead in business, or to be ahead in whatever activity, venture you're going to get into, you should always break the rule. Break the rule. Not Gold Quest policy rules. You break that, Mr. Rick would break you. Break meaning you gotta change, think how it's done. Let me give you an example. There was one famous high jumper, right? Previously, high jumps was done by doing it leg first. That was tradition, leg first. But see, in 1969, 68 or 69 Olympic, there was one high jumper. He changed the rule because nobody could break the records anymore in terms of height on high jump. What he did, he broke the rule. Instead of feet first, he started jumping head first. Head first. That's why now, what you see right now in the Olympics on high jumps, it's always head first. And he broke all records in the Olympics. And today, his formula in high jump is named after him. And it's being used by every student who would want to learn how to high jump. What he did, he broke the traditional rule of jumping feet first. You give up certain things, like what I was telling you, you just don't care anymore. That's why in this particular business, for you to be successful, you should be willing to face all the consequences in life. If you're not willing to face that, you're never going to go anywhere. That's bottom line. And what are those consequences? All of those consequences are stumbling block. They're fear that you have to overcome for you to be successful. Fear and success is back to back. Failure, success is back to back. But see, how do you overcome fear? How do you overcome that? You overcome fear with what? Anyone? The truth. Truth. Investigate. Question. Find out the truth. And by questioning, by hearing the truth, it will free you from fear. When you struggle, the more you die. The more you struggle, the more you're dying every day. An example, I went rafting with some boys, you know, river rafting. So one of this boy fell off. He was stuck on the raft was stuck on a big rock. The rapids was so strong. So this boy basically hang on tight, fear of dying. He was hanging so tight at the raft that the rapids are actually hitting his back. And the more he's hanging on, he was actually drowning. And he kept on hanging more, and the more he was drowning. Why? Because he was afraid to let go. I told him, let go, let go. He didn't want to listen. I had to slap him to let go. And as soon as he let go, the rapids just took him and brought him to a safe side. And I said, hey, life is similar. Life is the same thing. The more we cling to living, supposedly, the more we die. So what we just have to do is let go. I mean, the old Chinese saying, right? Just let go, go with the flow. And the more you would find how to live a life. And that's the point wherein you can actually be very, very successful. Thank you very much.
The ring not only goes through hammering, it goes through hampering every day. But Mr. Vijay is alright. I mean, he he's taken more hammering, more pain for all of us than we will ever imagine. But why is he doing it? He's doing it because I know of no other person in Gold Quest International that has more love to give, more care to give, more of himself to give than him himself. And sometimes in giving, he forgets. In giving, in trying to reach out, in trying to help us, sometimes he has to speak a little louder. He has to be a little firmer. He has to be a bit more emotional. But hey, that is the man. The man that I won my personal respect. At first I said, this guy, hammering. I mean, what a guy, what a name to give it, hammering. But I've known him as not just hammering. I've known him to be soldering. Yeah. He is a very, very special individual.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. This is Singapore, right? Yes. I've been in so many places lately, I forget where I am. Can I take my jacket off? Is that okay with you? Yes. Sure. You see, you come away from a day like today, it could be just one thing you walk away with. But that one thing turns your business around. That one thing turns your family around. It's usually not more than one thing. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
Guess what it was for Fred Smith? Who is Fred Smith? Can I have a straight answer? Who is Fred Smith? That was even worse. Anyway, the founder of? Yes. Yes. I usually like to say Federal Express. I only say FedEx when I'm sending it to my secretary. I say Federal Express to respect his stand and his life for what he created. But I want to talk about an aspect of his life that is not so comfortable. You see, I happen to know a little bit about Fred Smith. I happen to know where he borrowed his money to start Federal Express. It's his own family, brothers and sisters. And when he couldn't pay them back, because Federal Express wasn't moving so much mail yet with the only plane they owned. Are you with me?
Yes.
And the only plane they owned was being flown by, guess who? Fred Smith. Are you with me?
Yes.
Collector. Coming to confiscate the only plane of Federal Express. Why? Because Federal Express had not paid its debt. Are you with me?
Yes.
So guess what he did? He landed and gave the plane away, right? Stupid. He flew around. You know, kept saying, is the man still there? Yes. Flew around some more. Is the man still there? Yes. Flew around some more. Flew away, came back. As long as the man was there, he didn't land. You understand what I'm saying? Because if he had landed, it would have been the end of Federal Express as we know it today. The collector was sent by his brothers and sisters, who basically took him to court for the money that they lent him. Interesting, isn't it? How many of you have the support of your brothers and sisters and mom and dads and uncles and aunts for Gold Quest? One hand, two hands, three hands, 4, 5. Those of you whose hands are up, you're very lucky. But the majority of hands are not up. Did you notice that? You're even luckier. You don't have to endure some pain in the process of your Gold Quest business. Then when you're finally making $16,000 a week, you'll be spending it faster than you make, and you'll be in serious pain afterwards. Or you'll do some stupid things with the money. Are you with me?
Yes.
How many of you would like $100 million right now in your hands? Stupid la. You wouldn't know what to do with it. You understand what I'm saying? You know what they would say about you? They would say, man, he was the unluckiest son of a gun in town. He spent it here and it was the dive, and he spent it there and it was dead, and he gave it away here and he borrowed it here and never got it back, and at the end, nothing. Voila, eh. So the price of success is a price that you must be willing to pay. Today we're paying it in Nepal. We've also become more humble because we recognize that it is not just us. That when we pitch in all of our belief and faith and energy, that somehow or other this external power comes along and sort of lifts us up and pushes us forward. It's that point in time, that point in a place when determination, sweat, and luck come together. And now you're in networking. You know what is the key? The key is for you to be like in the movie Titanic. If there's one key in this business, it is to step outside of your shoes, to step outside of your ego, to step outside of your pride, to step outside of your own BS and inside somebody else's life. And feel what they feel, hear what they have to say, not have your mouth going all the time. Hello?
Yes.
He still knows how. I'm not speaking of Fred Smith himself. I'm speaking of the Fred Smith in each and every one of you. Because once you learned how to fly, you will always know how to fly. And the only way you learn how to fly is by falling and busting up. Find that moment and identify yourself with that moment. Find in that moment, where did you draw the power to go on? How did you keep going? Most of you were kids when that happened. Some of you might have done it when you wanted candy. Mom, can I have a candy? No. But Mom, I really want the candy. No. Mom, I'll clean my room if you give me a candy. No. Mommy, I'll clean my room for the next year. Please let me have the candy. No. You keep coming back for the candy, yes or no?
Yes.
So where is your willingness today to keep going back for the candy. It is the willingness to seek more and more struggles. If I say pain, most people fight with me. But more and more struggles, because it is in the struggle that there is a triumph. When you overcome a struggle, there's a tremendous triumph. Correct or not? Yes. Is it correct or not? Yes. How many of you have had a struggle in your life? How many of you have ever had a struggle in your life? Thank you. Those same people who just raised your hand, did you make it through? Yes. Otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here. Now some of you have not yet finished the struggle. Some of you ran from it. Hello. No need to raise your hand if you did. I know some of you did because I know I ran from some of my struggle. In fact, I run all the time. It takes a lot of work to go back and face a struggle. To this day, as many struggles as we had in Gold Quest, it still takes a struggle to go at a struggle face on. Yes or no, John? Where's Andrew, huh? True or false? True. Partner Maine? Yes, sir. Still takes a struggle to face a struggle. True or false? Yes, sir. Even when you're successful, you still like the easy way out. It's not the way to go. It'll never get you there. Never. Not in a million years, and most of you won't live a million years. We're going to give our commitment to you, but you've got to give some back. You know how you can give it back? VCon. Yes or no? Yes! So how many of you are going to try to make it there? Excellent. Please keep your hands up. Andrew, take the names. Let me also make something very clear. VCon will be painful. But it will not be painful in the sense of confronting you to open up and reveal your pain to others. It will be done in such a way that you within yourself can recognize what is holding you back. You want to know what's holding you back? Hello? Yes. Are you even aware that something's holding you back? If nothing was holding you back, you'd be rich today already? No. Absolutely. And when I say rich, I mean wealthy. Love, care, money, all those things. You know, you think I talk about money all the time. Heck, money is not that big a deal. Some people steal it, you know. Money is not that big a deal. But consistently earning it is. And what you can do with it is. And how you can change the world when you have success because people want to join your team is and does make a difference. Correct or not? Yes. So how many of you are coming to VCon? We promise you pain. You're still coming? Yes. You have my word on it? We promise you discomfort. Keep your hand up if you... Discomfort and you put your hands down already? What's wrong with you? And we promise you to share with you and allow you to experience the essence of success. Each and every one of you. You will have a touch. You will be in touch with the essence of success in VCon. Each and every member of VCon will be able to touch success in his life. The very essence of your core success. If you want to come, you have to come there to experience it. We're not going to tell you here how it's done. Your hand's not up yet. Thank you. All those of you who have their hand up right now have what it takes to be successful. All you got to do is reach for it. So close your fist, take it back, and carry it with you. We'll see you in VCon. God bless you. I love you. From the bottom of our hearts, all the best.
then I wasn't even a TCO yet. I had attended, as I told you all, 4 business previews, 4 bombs. I found it incredible that any individual without knowledge or not knowledge, without experience can have an opportunity to make 12,000 US a week. To me, it was based on my 16 years as a management consultant and corporate trainer, using a lot of logic and analytical skills. This doesn't make sense, you know. But here I was sitting in front of someone who was looking at receiving and enjoying 12,000 US a week, week in, week out, week in, week out. I wanted really, very much to be like him. Okay. And I came quite close, I suppose. Okay. But then again, no two persons are alike. You know, his sense of balance, his sense of focus, his sense of doing things is so different from any other person that I've met. Without further ado, I would like all of us to stand up, give a very warm welcome, yeah, to Mr. Ronnie Wong.
Today is a very special day. For the Chinese, today is the 15th day of the Chinese New Year. May I take this opportunity to greet you, Gong Xi Fa Cai. Well, every day is a special day. To me, every day is